All right, Broncos country, this is the defensive film room, so there's not going to be a good week here to go over the tape. The Broncos defense struggled, gave up over 476 yards to the Colts. That's not good here. Now, the Broncos ran a ton of man coverage. They had a very high man blitz rate, which means that they're playing man coverage while also blitzing the quarterback, and Daniel Jones had 206 yards against the blitz. So what's going to happen here, as you can see, Tyler Warren, he's going to be the recipient of this play. He's going to have a 41-yard catch and run. Now, right now, he is offset. It's obviously a two tight end set. The Colts are in 12 personnel, one running back, two tight ends here. You got Mo Alley Cox, and you've got, obviously, Tyler Warren right here. You obviously have a number 2 receiver here, number 1 over here. Riley Moss playing man coverage. Passer Tan playing man coverage. Talanoa Hufanga playing the middle safety here. Brandon Jones initially playing man coverage alignment on Warren, but Warren is going to shift to the backfield here pre-snap. So his coverage responsibility now changes. Brandon Jones' man coverage responsibility now goes on Mo Alley Cox because he lines up in the backfield. Alex Singleton is responsible for him in terms of man alignment rules here. Justin Sternad, obviously, when you have a pistol look, this can confuse things a little bit because if Jonathan Taylor, let's say, was lined up right here, Sternad would be man aligned. But anything that comes out this way from the back, Sternad's going to have. And that's exactly what happens here. He's going to take the running back. This is on Singleton right here as we're looking at this film breakdown. So you get motion here. Okay, our alignment still is the same here from your corners. You're manned up on the outside, single high safety, man coverage now on Mo Alley Cox while you have Tillman and your D-line. They're all going to rush right here, and then it's just man coverage across the board here. But Warren is going to come underneath the formation here. This is just a design clear out because you're going to get a vertical runoff from number 1, and then obviously number 2 here covered by Pat Surtain. He's just going to climb across the field. So this is really designed to clear out here. This is a design play for Tyler Warren. Let's watch it unfold. Now, watch Jonathan Taylor right here. Sternad is keying him the entire way. Now, hypothetically speaking, let's say Jonathan Taylor went this way, Warren came underneath. Okay, then Sternad would redirect here, and Singleton will probably take the running back. But that's not the case here. You're bringing him underneath here, and you're bringing him out this way as well. Sternad plays this the right way, right? He's keying the back. He sees, okay, this is pass. You got man, good coverage initially here. Brandon Jones is keying the tight end right here. Warren is leaking underneath right here free. Singleton right here should have his eyes here, and then he's just got to bail, and he's got to get depth to try to get on that hip. He tries to pass him off as if Sternad's going to cover him, but Sternad is going to cover the running back right here. So he chooses the running back instead of Warren, and Warren is wide open. Can't have these types of plays. The Broncos defense gave up 9.8 yards per play on first down. That's inexcusable. You can't do that this week against Justin Herbert and the Los Angeles Chargers here. So once again, let's take a look at it. Man coverage responsibility shifting right here for Brandon Jones. Man aligned here. Sternad looks like pre-snap he's communicating to Singleton, and basically he's just keying this tailback right here. But, I mean, this is a great design by the Colts to free up their joker here. Because, look, I mean, you have to try to get depth on this. You can't pass this off to Sternad because now you have no one to cover the running back underneath. I mean, sure, if you had an effective communication call between these two to say maybe Singleton can do it, but is Singleton going to get here in time if he throws this to Jonathan Taylor? It's still going to be a big play. So the smart move here, play man coverage right here, Sternad on the running back, take an angle and get depth here in man coverage. I mean, this is what teams are going to try to do here going forward to try to isolate matchups here. Singleton's eyes are in the backfield a little bit, leads to a big play. So just a rough game here for the Broncos defensively, 476 yards given up. Broncos on this play are going to get burnt by Jonathan Taylor here out of the backfield, 41 yards here to the defensive left side, offensive right side, and this is just a diagnosed play here. And you can tell here pre-snap, if you look, the Colts, they have this condensed formation, right? They got the wide receiver close to the end man on the line of scrimmage, which is the tight end here, which is Tyler Warren. You've got man alignment here all across the board with the single high safety. And man alignment right here, Jahdae Barron against number 2, Riley Moss against number 1. And then right here in this situation, you've got Alex Singleton man aligned against Jonathan Taylor. Well, they're going to motion Jonathan Taylor here. They're going to get him the ball in the flat, but these route concepts make it tricky, especially in man, where this wide receiver is going to release a little bit inside, but vertically right here. Tyler Warren is going to release vertical right here as well. And now this is going to force Alex Singleton to have to fight kind of underneath his own guys, which I mean, these guys really use the Broncos defense kind of to pick themselves here to free up Jonathan Taylor here in space. So let's let it play out here. Ideally, I mean, you could have this rule where it's like, hey, based on this, if this was something they saw on film, okay, motion. One thing you could essentially do is you could communicate between the safety and the linebacker. Okay, Brandon, you take the tailback. I'm going to man a line here against the tight end here, but he's kind of in no man's land because if this tight end were to just run vertical or if he were to run, let's just say, even an out route right here, he's not going to be in a great position, especially if the tailback swings and he has to take the swing, the safety does. Corner's playing right here on this route. There's a lot of traffic here, and ultimately that ends up being the case. Now watch this. Because of the release, right, you got the swing, you got the vertical release right here. Singleton, I mean, you can't expect him to track under here because then he's going to run into this guy. He's going to get hit regardless. So ideally, you would have liked to pass this off, but I'm not sure that was in the rule book here, the Broncos defensively. So now Singleton has to fight underneath that. Wide open play here. The wheel route has been a huge issue for the Broncos to cover the past 2 seasons, and that's been the case here for both inside linebackers. Singleton last year, Cody Barton last year, and so far Singleton this year in this exact instance right here. Because, look, Brandon Jones is climbing on the hip of Warren. You have a safety over the top here and Hufanga who can help. Surtain would have to climb down hard on this in-breaking route right here, especially with the condensed formation. And so Singleton is just kind of stuck in no man's land. This was a chess piece move by Shane Steichen to isolate a matchup that he wanted. Man, he got whatever he wanted all day against this Denver defense. It was a rough game for what should be a really good defense in Denver. Alec Pierce is going to have a 44-yard catch right here. Now, let's go over a statistic I brought up earlier. Okay, this is one of those man blitz situations here. Broncos playing man coverage across the board. At the top of your screen, you got one-on-one. Talanoa Hufanga's playing man coverage right here on the tight end. You got man coverage right here from Jaquan McMillan against number 2. Man coverage right here from Riley Moss against the outside receiver. Alex Singleton playing man alignment on the running back, but the running back's going to stay in pass pro. So Singleton is blitzing, Sternad is blitzing, and then you have your 4-down lineman blitzing as well, right? So the Broncos, they're sending 6 on this play, playing Brandon Jones over the middle of the field while everybody else is man coverage. They deployed that on 52.6% of Daniel Jones' passing snaps, which is the second highest rate by any team since the start of last season, and they allowed the most passing yards against man blitz, 206, of any team since at least 2016. They've utilized the highest man blitz rate since 2024 began, but they have generated the 9th lowest pressure, right? So what this is telling us, the pressure here, folks, we know the Broncos are good at doing it, but in this game, they could not generate pressure, and Daniel Jones got the ball out of his hands quickly, and it hurt the Broncos. So when they're sending 6 players and it's not getting home, it's actually impacting the Broncos defense negatively right here. In breaking route from number 2, you're just going to get the go ball from Pierce, the go ball from number 1 up top, chip release out here. Hufanga's going to cover, and then just once again, your 6-man blitz right here by Denver defensively. And this is just Daniel Jones like, I'm not looking up here. Surtain's got this covered pretty well. Riley's got pretty good coverage initially here, but Pierce's long speed, I think, is what becomes a little problematic. So Riley's in trail position right now. He's going to try to prevent this play. Look, he's going to go swipe the hand. He's looking at Pierce is looking back for the ball. His hands are out, so he's trying to make that recovery swipe right there. Gets there a little early, pass interference, but Pierce hauls it in. It's a tough catch, tough play to make right there. And it's just one of those examples of Denver blitzing so much. I mean, folks, I think we get so caught up in some of these crazy Twitter conversations here. When you are covering, when the Broncos are sending a 52.6 man blitz rate, most of this game on all the dropbacks, over half of the passing dropbacks here from Daniel Jones, 26 of them to be exact, that you're asking your cover guys to cover for way too long. And especially with the Colts, they ran a lot of vertical routes to run corners off initially to attack underneath. The corners are tired. It wasn't their best game overall here. And yeah, Riley right here, Pierce has the speed advantage on that play and makes a hell of a play right here. But you shouldn't be down on Denver's secondary. It's the other components here of the defense that really let them down in Sunday's loss. The Indianapolis Colts take advantage of using Tyler Warren like the joker that he is here. The Broncos in man coverage, as you're going to see, Riley Moss against number 1, Pat Surtain against number 2, Talanoa Hufanga playing that middle safety here. Benito kind of playing off the edge right here where you've got your linebackers right here are essentially eyeing not only Jonathan Taylor, but also the tight end. Jonathan Cooper is a little bit wider right here because you don't want to get a numbers advantage, and these guys actually run a run play and seal you inside, and now you got the outside free. So he's aligned wide there. Brandon Jones is offset right now. outside shoulder of the tight end. Brandon Jones looks to be aligned a little bit on Tyler Warren, but Warren pre-snap is going to motion, and he's going to chip release against Nick Bonito for 1001 release to the flat while you get your man coverage looks. Now, at the bottom of our screen right here, the wide receiver, number 1, he's going to run off Riley Moss right here. This is play action. The Colts offensive line, they do a great job of down blocking, selling it to the defensive left side. Daniel Jones is going to boot back here. Number 2 is going to have a vertical inside release, and he's going to climb back over, but you have a single high safety. This is really just designed to try to get the ball into space here to Tyler Warren. Now, Warren does a great job. He puts Nick Bonito in a tough position because, right, Nick Bonito, as you can see, he's not necessarily rushing the quarterback. He's essentially jamming him right now. But now he's got to play it where, all right, you've got boot. You got man coverage right here. He's trying to run off the corner. He's running off Pat Surtain inside. You've got a clear out route right here from the tight end that Alex Singleton seemingly should be covering. He gets across his face. He's wide open because he's got to protect deep over the top here. And then you're just going to have floating coverage right here from Brandon Jones on the backside while Cooper is obviously playing for a potential throwback for Jonathan Taylor. And now Bonito's in a tough spot because if he keeps going flat here with Warren, Daniel Jones, we know, has wheels. He'll take it and he'll run. So he has to step up. No one's here to cover Tyler Warren underneath the formation. Sternad over pursues, thinking he's just going to catch it and try to go up the sideline. Warren stops and cuts back inside. Singleton's going to try to break down and make a play against him, and he just over pursues it as well, and it leads to 15 or so yards. This was just a rough day for the Broncos defensively. Let's take a look at it here. Obviously, defensive line-wise, Bonito out there playing wide, Cooper playing wide. You've got a 4-eye right here by the D end, and then DJ Jones right here is kind of tilted inside the A-gap here, playing a one technique, and they just do a great job. The Colts offensive line, which I feel like is massively better this year than what they looked like last year. You bring your underneath piece right here, you sell play action, and then you boot backside. I mean, Daniel Jones is in a very good system, and he's got playmakers around him. He's got a pretty good offensive line. They're doing a heck of a job there through 2 weeks in Indy, and that's the challenge, right? But now, tight end crosses face right here. Essentially, Alex Singleton should be on Mo Alley Cox. Sternad should hopefully be out here towards Warren because you got man coverage here from Surtain against Michael Pittman Jr. But also, these guys could have different rules. This is just interpretation right now, right? Because on boot action with Bonito out here playing wide, he essentially, Justin Sternad, could be tagged as maybe like the QB spy. That's a possibility. I don't know what the defensive call was, right? We're just looking at what we're seeing here. Tight end coming free right here is not good. So Singleton, eyes in the backfield, that's a little problematic because, hey, if Sternad goes out here initially or like sticks on him to cover, this guy's wide open, and it's a big play by Mo Alley Cox rather than Tyler Warren. So on this, the only thing I think you coach up, and obviously the Broncos do this, just break down, take better angles here. Just bad tackling, bad angles by the defense. It leads to extended plays here. It's a rough game. You want to flush week 2 down the toilet if you're a Broncos fan. This comes right after Bo Nix threw an interception in the fourth quarter. You have one negative play, and then the next play you have a compounded negative play, and it just leads to a snowball effect of nothing good. Now, Jonathan Taylor is going to rattle off a big-time 68-yard run right here. Just soul-sucking of the defense right here in terms of where they're at. But let's keep an eye on these two guys right here. Obviously, we talk about the right guard and the right tackle. What's going to happen is they're actually going to come off and double-team right here against Jonathan Cooper. They're going to let DJ Jones come free because they're bringing Tyler Warren backside underneath to try to block and kick out, right? You get motion. We always call that window dressing. Because you have the motion here, Jaquan McMillan stepping up, and he's going to go and he's going to fill right here on the outside while Cooper's getting double-teamed. DJ's coming through. You're bringing Warren in backside to double-team him. And essentially, you're trying to maybe open up this hole. So Alex Singleton's reading it, takes a bad angle, is going to end up missing this tackle right here. DJ Jones comes close, though. Let's watch it. You'll see the design, the double-team, the underneath block right here. This is what sets everything up. Watch it right now. We're going to get the snap of the ball right here. See how DJ Jones comes free? They're essentially trying to they're double-teaming right here to let him free so they can maybe kind of pin or chip him, and then basically you're seeing that, okay, if that gets filled, maybe Cooper could bounce it. I mean, not Cooper, Jonathan Taylor can bounce it to the outside. Instead, he stays patient. DJ wraps up. Tough guy to bring down in JT right here. Obviously, Pittman down blocks Jaquan McMillan. So now Singleton's coming right here where he's got to break down and make this play. You've got Pat Surtain on the outside who can help. So Singleton's got to work inside out. Pat's working outside in. And now you kind of over pursue a little bit. Taylor is able to get inside. And now you're chasing. You're in no man's land. Pat's chasing. Luckily, thank goodness for Talanoa Hufanga. He saves a touchdown here. It's been a while since we've seen the Broncos give up a long run like this. Obviously, disappointing turn of events in this game to allow over 470-plus yards here. But now you're going to see exactly what I mean here initially, okay? Because you get the motion here, Jaquan, he's going to get a go call, right? Because essentially you want to kind of play this as man coverage if it ends up being a pass play. You have a safety over the top here on Warren. You have obviously a running back right here. You got man alignment from Sternad on the running backside here, and then Hufanga playing over the top. But watch what happens. They're like, you know what we're going to do? We're going to just double team Jonathan Cooper here. We're going to let him come free. You're going to have the kick out here by Tyler Warren, and then you're just going to have the crack block essentially by Pittman on Jaquan McMillan here. Jaquan does a great job. I think he takes the right angle, right? Because essentially you want to be able to plug here. Pat can play the outside. Now you just see how they just do a really good job. Double team, kick out backside. I mean, DJ's coming here. I mean, that's a tough play. DJ's going to get kind of hit in the side a little bit. Hard to bring down a guy like Jonathan Taylor when you get nudged from the side a little bit. Singleton misses the angle right here. Doesn't take a great one there. Now he's chasing and trailing, and luckily Hufanga takes a great angle here to track this one down. But, man, this was a rough game for the Broncos defense. Too many explosives. Can't have this happen against the Chargers. It's going to be a long day in Week 3.